You're listening to Wild Things and Wild Places, a Muley Fanatic Foundation podcast that aims to discuss issues and efforts related to the Muley Fanatic Foundation mission, the conservation of mule deer, furthering the sport of hunting, and sound wildlife management.
Everybody knows I'm a Muley fanatic.
It's time for Wild Things and Wild Places. And here's your guide, Joshua Corsi.
All right, welcome to another episode of Wild Things and Wild Places. Again, another vendor episode from Mule Deer Days, trying to take advantage of the opportunity to visit with some folks in person and to be able to showcase and share who some of these vendors are that are supporting the effort of not only Muley Fanatic Foundation, but Mule Deer Days specifically, and our sportsman and sportswoman heritage that is so valued. This hunting heritage that we have, it takes all of us. We are stronger together, and it is supporting companies and vendors and industries that further these efforts to really, truly have made our life easier. And we're about to talk to some folks from Black Ovis. I got Bryce Underwood, who is the merchandising manager, and Adam Hall, the inventory specialist for Black Ovis. Black Ovis, based out of Salt Lake City, Utah. Welcome, gents.
Thanks for having us.
Yeah, absolutely. And when I say gear that makes our life easier, really, we have said this before, but the industry over the last decade, in my mind particularly, has changed to where we're no longer making clothing. We have at the ability of click of a button or at a store or at a show like this, we have the ability to truly buy gear that allows us to bivvy in the field for extended periods of time, to be able to meet Mother Nature's elements face to face and then be able to persist and withstand those. And I'm looking around at the booth and I see some of the finest materials of clothing that's made. You guys, as a Crispy dealer, you have a very close connection with Crispy. Let's talk about that, because those are some of the finest boots on the market. There's no doubt about it.
Yeah, and so far they've been the biggest talk of the show for us.
Sure, I could see why.
Yeah, a lot of guys that still haven't tried out like a high quality pair of boots, they always see the Crispies and always have a lot of questions, and we love answering them. They're handmade in Italy. It's one of the few out there that are still handmade, and we just love carrying them.
Yeah, and the multitude of options. I'm looking at just the different styles that you have, the taller boots, the shorter boots, the lighter boots, the boots that breathe better in hotter weather, the boots that are insulated for cold weather hunts. But boy, that when you look at that, it says rugged, and it says sheep hunt written all over it, because that's going to test you more than anything out there. But there are a lot of folks that just do Crispy boots as their everyday boot because of comfort and durability.
Seen them all around the show already. Yep.
Yeah. What is the connection with Black Ovis and Crispy?
So how that started years back, we had two co-owners that started Black Ovis and Camel Fire, and they also were overseeing the international shipping rights from Italy to the States. As they were a little bit smaller and starting out, we were all in the same building, all three companies, all as one big family. As we've continued to grow, we just needed more space in all departments all around. So Crispy actually is now in their own warehouse down in Linden, Utah, is where their headquarters out of. But Camel Fire and Black Ovis were still up in West Valley.
And then that merger and consolidation to be under one roof, that's now right there in Salt Lake City.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Outstanding. Some of the other gear that you got, new lines?
We do.
These are fairly new to the release to the public.
Yep, we've been coming out with a lot of new products, even a lot that we don't have here at the show. But one thing we're really well known for is our merino wool. Guys that have had our wool in the past, maybe say 4 years back or so, we used to do a very high blend of merino, which was really nice, but durability-wise wasn't quite holding up to our standards. So we started introducing a little bit more nylon to it, make it a little bit more durable, a little bit last longer. I've been a huge fan. I've been able to talk about our wool for hours at this show, and I just love talking about our gear and especially our wool.
Yeah, when you talk about odor wicking and being able to retain heat or in hot conditions, cooling, the materials that are available at this time on the timeline of history have never been better than what they are right now.
Absolutely. Yeah, they're phenomenal pieces. I even love merino, even as a daily wear once in a while. Like I'll just wear it in the office just because it's super comfortable and I don't have to worry about being too hot or even being too cold in them.
Yeah, what about Adam as the inventory specialist? I imagine those responsibilities are pretty large. Being able to maintain this, walk me through some of the process for folks that are interested, that maybe are listening to this from afar, weren't able to make it to Mule Deer Days. Certainly there is a movement out there. Folks like to support folks who support things that they like. And if you here at Mule Deer Days and the folks that follow our podcast, how do folks see this inventory firsthand? blackovis.com. And then what is your role in being able to maintain, as the inventory specialist, what is probably a pretty constant cycle or an open door that's just revolving on a regular basis?
Yeah, the best place to look at our gear is blackovis.com. And if you go there, you're going to see a lot of other brands that you're familiar with. You'll see Stone Glacier, you'll see Sitka, you'll see even maybe brands you're not as familiar with. We try and get those brands that have really good stuff that maybe aren't as well known, stuff like Asiat Gear or TriStar that make optics accessories. As the inventory specialist, I have my hand in a lot of pots. The title doesn't really clue in. If it deals with inventory, I have something to do with it most likely, whether it's stuff that's coming in, making sure that we are dealing with the brands that we sell as well as our own stuff and making sure that those relationships are good, and as well as just making sure that we're taking care of the stuff and we keep a very good idea on where stuff is in our warehouse so that when somebody orders it, we can get it shipped out as fast as possible. We really like to get stuff shipped out. We don't ship stuff out on the weekends, but that Monday through Friday, our warehouse team works really hard to get stuff shipped out as fast as they can.
And then Bryce Underwood, again, merchandising manager, you have a whole nother set of responsibilities.
Yep.
Let's talk about that.
Yeah, so from the start, merchandising is when you go to blackovis.com, when you look at the website and you see the product pages, that's the merchandising. And so me and my team, we always, especially with our own Black Ovis line, we're always updating things. We're always trying new things. It's always keeping the site fresh. We work really closely, of course, with all departments, closely with the warehouse. When new inventory comes in, we want to get the product built. When we have updated items there we just need to get some new photos of or anything like that, that's what my job entails, is keeping the site fresh, keeping things clean and represented.
All right, the one thing I want to talk about, we talked about having great gear that is really just evolved in great durability, great performance. But even in the world of game bags have really changed here. It used to be not that long ago that a guy had some canvas game bags that he had somebody that was making tents or something that was washable, something that you would use once a year, but again, lightweight, be able to go further, persist longer, and persist harder. Game bags, that's something that you guys hang your hat on pretty well.
It's one of my favorite things to talk about, and it's interesting talking to some of the old timers here and people that just haven't tried in expanding some of their gear wise. They're like, I still wear jeans, I wear my cowboy boots, and I just reuse my canvas bags. It's always worked and it does work, but you should give these a shot. And I do hearing back over the years guys that have started trying out some of our gear, and especially our bags, where they don't realize how small and how lightweight they are. They could just easily stuff in their saddlebag or their pack and be able to just wash it out when they get home and just be able to use them next year. They're a quality piece, and we really love pushing those.
Yeah, and besides just being lightweight, the breathability, keeping dirt, flies, and everything else off, that once that critter's down, you start boning it out. We all know what that looks like. Yeah. Having a way to protect that, the most valuable part of the harvest, being able to take that organic wild game meat home that is truly the best for your body on the planet, you got to protect it. And it starts in the field. It starts when you're 10 miles back in the country and you're packing that stuff out.
It is, and it's one of those pieces that everyone needs, whether it's Black Ovis bags or not. You need a good quality piece to protect the meat, and I think we do a really good job of that. We started these game bags many years ago, and we've come out with the new ultralights that we're really excited about, and that was only maybe a couple of years ago, but they're a nice bag as well.
Yeah, you got tripods, you got down vests, you got jackets, you got stuff that's stylish, but it's functional, it is appealing. blackovis.com, ladies and gents, take a look at these guys. Crispy boots, if you haven't had crispy boots, give them a try. I guarantee you there's a lot of great boot companies out there, and I'd hate to put any under the bus because there are tremendous companies that satisfy this need for those that get off the pavement and get on those hard to beat trails. But crispy boots will stand up to the test of time. Warranty, let's talk about that. On all of your stuff, what's warranty look like? That's a big deal for folks.
So with Black Ovis gear, of course, with Crispies, with any other brand that we carry, that warranty does change. But Black Ovis, you have a 1-year, almost unconditional warranty, where a lot of guys have used our products. We do make, like you said, we make headlamps, tripods, trekking poles, any type of gear you can think of, really. And if anything happens within that year, whether it's completely accidental or just didn't stand up to the test of what you're putting it through, we do something really cool. We have customer service, but we call them gear guides, and it tests true because they can really help you get into the piece of gear that you really need. And you can give our gear guides a call, and they'll listen to like how it happened, and Usually they just replace it for you, no charge. They just get you a new, whether it's merino wool that ripped or a trike and pull it snap, they'll usually just send you out a new one.
Wait, let me make sure I understand that, Bryce. You just said a guy who ripped his merino wool, snagged it on a tree, whatever the case may be, it ripped, he calls, within 1 year, you're replacing it.
Usually, yep.
Yeah. I'm that guy. Nothing ticks me off more than because gear is expensive.
Yeah.
When you make that type of investment and then you snag it on something and you guys are standing behind it.
It's that fine line because gear is meant to be, pushed hard. And
That's
so
right.
it's something we could wish we could, maybe warranty a little bit even further than that. We really try to stand behind our product. Crispy is very similar. I believe they have a 1-year manufacture. So if any of the eyelets break or anything, it's not holding out the water like it should, anything like that, I believe up to a year, they also will fix or replace.
Yeah, I appreciate that. I can tell you, I would actually feel guilty if it was my error to expect that you're going to stand behind a product and replace it. I would not ask or expect that of you, but just to hear you say that's your model, that's how you stand behind your product, that's admirable. But I can tell you, if it's stupid on me, it's stupid on me. I'm not expecting that to be passed on to you. But this lineup of boots, I knew Crispy had a lot of models, but there are 4 or 5 models out here that it just amazes me how innovative Crispy is, and you to be able to have your hands on that product and as fast as you have, you brought a lot of inventory. Let me ask you specific to Mule Deer Days. Obviously, this is a grassroots effort, small show. We're not trying to duplicate the big show that you have in your backyard in February. But your overall thoughts so far, Mule Deer Days?
It's been such an awesome experience. I really hope that we can come back year after year. It's so fun talking to the community and going around talking to other vendors that are supporting the cause, and I've just been so happy ever since I came in here on Thursday.
We're going to grow this together because this isn't just us doing this. What's going to make this happen is having partnerships and relationships with companies like Black Ovis, being able to offer these high quality products, be able to put them in front of folks. Folks have probably seen these, have probably heard about them, know somebody, but until you can actually try a boot on, I don't know about you guys, but I have some great resistance to something that I have not had hands-on tangible familiarity with.
Yeah,
buying it online. And I know that, you can buy it and nope, that didn't fit. You need a Y or double E. You can send it back, and there's something about being able to do it in person and to be able to make that work.
Yeah.
The one that we talked about, some of your merino wool that you have here, what about socks? Are you providing merino wool socks as well?
We do. Yes.
That's a great item.
Yeah, we have 2 different ones, I believe. We have a lightweight, it's like a mid-calf, and then we have a midweight to heavyweight over the calf sock as well.
Of all the gear advancements, I think, that have paid dividends for me,
yes,
the one item I can always point to is the advancement in the industry of socks.
Yeah, anytime I'm talking boots with customers, I always ask what type of sock do they have as well, because that makes a world of difference. Some guys still work hiking cotton and might try some merino wool.
Hey, man, it's been great to visit with you both. Bryce, I appreciate your time. Adam, I appreciate your time. blackovis.com, camofire.com, that folks can also be able to reach out to you like that as well. Give these guys a look. You got great lids, too. Isn't it funny how every show, stickers and lids, hats I'm talking about.
Everybody loves hats.
Everybody loves hats. Can you really have too many? It's like guns and knives, isn't it?
Yeah, exactly.
Anything new down the line that folks should be aware of that's maybe you can't give all the info, but a teaser, something that's exciting that's coming down the pipe at some point?
We got some good stuff. I think a couple of the big things, we try and find ways to maybe make something multi-use, something like game bags. We've got some stuff down the pipeline that could potentially allow game bag to have a couple different uses. We've got some other good stuff, maybe just a tease. I'm a big vest guy. We have a vest coming soon that's going to go right into my kit for every single hunt, as well as some innovations with some pants that we've got going on.
Good to hear. That's exciting. Something to look forward to.
It is, yeah.
Hey, thank you again, both of you, for your time and your effort to get here, to be a part of this event. It's truly humbling for us to see the vendors that we've been able to have the support to come and give this a shot, and let's grow this together. Thanks, fellas.
That's me.
Yeah, appreciate it.
You bet. Again, another episode of Wild Things in Wild Places, visiting with the folks from Black Ovis, Bryce Underwood, Adam Hall, coming up here from Salt Lake to be able to be part of Mule Deer Days. Check them out. Look at this stuff. And if you missed out on Mule Deer Days, here's a reason why you can put this on your schedule when we announce a date for next year. When they do shows like this, they have huge show specials. When I say huge, I'm talking significant discounts. Some of these discounts 35, 40% because you're buying it at the show. You get to see and touch and feel that product firsthand. You want to go to the men's room, try it on. Some of these merino wool shoots, they fit tight. Maybe you want something a little looser. That's the beauty of coming to a show like this, being able to visit firsthand with these folks and learn a little bit more than what's just hanging on the hanger or laying on the table. blackovis.com. Until next time, happy trails.
And that wraps up another episode of Wild Things and Wild Places. But remember, the journey doesn't end here. Make sure you never miss out by subscribing. Whether you're listening to us on your favorite podcast platform, streaming us on our website, or following us on social media, subscribing is the best way to stay connected. Thank you for joining us, and stay tuned for more wild episodes.
Everybody knows I'm a Muley fanatic.